lazima ulewe na dula.
Kimitei agobo inye ago kimita siginetkei kibaibaitkei ak inoisechigei tuguk cheterter chetesetai eng emetab Kenya ak emotinwek chebo sang. Inyorwech eng DSTV channel 266, Zuku channel 19, GoTV channel 099, Star Times channel 164, Pang eng free to air, Bamba free to air, Azam channel 336 koboto online streaming eng www.kasstv.co.ke. Kass TV. Kimnatet
Oye gaigai aibe simeng'ung muitenye ekany kosoyo eunek chuk ingen kabunwaun ngokiet kometo mayaik akoombe not ara akot ndinye mani kotos ireceiven ano simet inye komite beek eunek itik ak konyek kale ikany kitikin amu angot akine ameche isebenwa betri nenyu muite kitikin koubut cherop nekimuite asikosikwech kiprop nemakanye rop amu meunikei kale muite.
Asinyoru kale muite koek skiza tune neng'ung'et ijil star 860 star 841 hash.
Kass ko kimnatetab comedians ak tienik tugul.
Agatin chitab college ni kutor lemi amangwa legi tindai petut natak neinege petut natak nebo akwangwan gasi anan ko aramis petut natak nebo tarehe 29 arawetab sogol kenyit natak nebo 2022 petut nekaitita tai nebo bunge President William Ruto eng kasarta netai akokon inendet ngalalenyi netai eng bunge natak kakiyate eng petuni. Petut kora ngakobarasta county nebo Kericho kainaik taman kobun gavana nenywa noto ko Eric Mutai kabarainik chotok chebo CECs konyek nguni komiten eng county assembly nebo Kericho kotko isirtoi anan esioi kainaik chotok kaimuch kokoito gavana nebo county notok koboto anyun logoiwek kobun taunisiek kokwatinwek ak komaswek cheterter eng emet itagat eng sait anan rani eng sait kainenyu ko Jasfat Kebut. Agitaunen korik chotok chebo bunge nebo National Assembly ole kakokimite President Ruto kole wendi kondochini biikab emoni eng oret nemie ak eng oret notok netogunot. Eng kasaratak ko kamwa President William Ruto kole takomi barak mising chepkondok chotok chebeseni serikali ako nyolu kecheng ortinwek alak chekichenge rabinik eng oret notok nebo kiker kele kakiisto mising tietabkei notok nebo besenwogik eng mwaet kole mabitu bandab tai angot kotiegei mising emet. Ngalek chotok anan rabinik chotok chekisome kosir chotok chenyoru emet eng atkai tugul. Ak eng betuni ketaunen tetutiani ngalalet notok nebo President William Ruto komiten eng tai nebo bunge ole kangalale inendet akobo rabinik ak itondo tugul nebo rabinik eng emoni.
I have news, and it is not very good news. Our financial situation is not very good. For Kenya to grow to an upper income country, we need to invest at least 25% of our GDP. Our current national savings is below 10% of our GDP, which translates to an investment savings deficit of 15% of our GDP. Over the last decade, we have sought to close this gap with public borrowing. This year alone, we budgeted to borrow 900 billion to finance both development and recurrent expenditure. You're all aware that our total collection is 2.1 trillion, which is only enough to pay debt and to pay salaries. Everything else, we have to borrow. The government members should never borrow to finance recurrent expenditure. It is not right, it is not prudent, it is not sustainable, it is simply wrong. We must bring ourselves and our country to sanity.
Kagon President William Ruto arorutik ak tetutik chotok cheboisie serkalinyi koker kole kaimuch koistoi tietabkei netiegei mising serkali rabinik chotok chebo besenwogik ole kamwa kole eng kenyini kityo komi tetutik chotok chebo kosom serkali loan anan ko besendo nebo silingisiek billion 900. Tos ortinwek ne cheboisie serkalit notok nebo President William Ruto eng oretab koisto tietabkei nekitiegei mising ngalek chotok chebo besenwogik?
Over the next 3 years, we must reverse this and go back to the situation where government contributes to the national saving efforts by keeping recurrent expenditure below revenue. To this end, I have instructed Treasury to work with ministries to find at least 300 billion shillings in this year's budget so that we can remove it, because the market cannot sustain the kind of borrowing we are doing as government. Next year, we will bring it further down so that by the 3rd year, we have a recurrent budget surplus. This we must do, members, because it is the right thing for us to do.
Ako tagimi ngalek chotok chetinyegei ak rabinik ko kosubkei ak kamanutiet neitu kosubkei ak chepkondok chotok chebo CDF, kokamwa President Ruto kole kikotestai konyorune keljinet neo mising kebeberwek chotok chebo constituencies rabinik chotok bo CDF, akamwa kole miten tetutik chebo kero kole kakitou kora rabinik chotok chenootin ko Senate Fund chetetat kotoret mising eng kanaptaet notok nebo projects agora kokere kole katoret mising eng kanaptaet notok nebo bandaptai eng komaswek chotok chebo constituencies ak emet komugul.
Honorable members, I know the contribution to the National Government Constituency Development Fund has made in making life better for our citizens. Having served in Parliament for 15 years, before and after the establishment of the National Government CDF, I know the difference it makes is monumental. I believe there is a way CDF can be aligned to the tenets of the Constitution. In this regard, I also extend to add that both houses should also be adequately resourced for oversight duties. With regard to the Senate and its constitutional mandate, I believe the two houses should work together to set up the Senate Oversight Fund. This will be used to provide oversight of the millions of resources that are sent to counties.
Eng kasarata ko kaibarasta President Ruto kole tindo tetutik chebo koker kole kakewal ng'atutik chotok chebo bunge asikokochi boroindo cabinet secretaries choto ko ministaek nebo koitetab tai nebo bunge asikowal icheket tebutik chetinyegei ak tesetab tai notok nebo ministries chekwak. Eng betutab amut ko koimuch koyai tuyet President Ruto ak kampunisiek alak eng benkisiek koboto kampunisiek choto cheikoitoi besenwogik ak kaimuch kong'alal inendet akobo biik choto chemiten eng CRB legut notok nebo Hustler Fund ak kora ko kaimuch kong'alal akobo kachuchuchet notok nebo rabinik chekitili biik choto chesome besenwogik ole kamwa kole nyolu komiten ng'ony asikomuch kokanapta yaet notok nebo mung'aret ak koisto keret notok nekikerchin sang biik chotok chemoche kosom rabinik eng nenaat mising ko blacklisting.
The current Credit Reference Bureau approach of blacklisting debtors is zero-sum, punitive, and has arbitrarily locked millions of business out of the credit system. It is time to shift the formula to a credit scoring system which allows lenders to apply customer segmentation and at the same time end the stigma of blacklisting. We have held productive conversations with operators of the Fuliza and M-Shwari platforms on the modalities of reducing their lending rates. I am happy to report today that yesterday, our engagement finally culminated in undertaking by the platform operators to reduce the cost of credit by 50%, and this is a significant step towards unlocking billions of shillings needed to spur economic activity by once again expanding financial inclusion. My administration will allocate resources every year to the Hustler Fund, from which micro, small, and medium enterprises can access affordable credit to start and expand their businesses. I promised yesterday that we will leverage on technology in the management and disbursement of these funds. And shortly, we will be bringing to this House the legislation and the regulatory framework to operationalize this fund.
Ng'alalet notok nakayai eng betutab rani eng tai nebo bunge President William Ruto ne notok ko kang'alalenyi netai eng bunge notok bo 13 kole kang'alale inendet tuguk chotok cheterter ak amiten kerutik cheterter kobun membaek chotok chebo korik cheterter anan constituencies cheterter chotok ko MPs chekaimuch ko ng'alale icheket akobo ng'alalanoto bo President William Ruto eng nguni ko wendi kotau boisiet inendet mising eng komosta nebo bunge ole boisiennywa netai ko noton nebo koker kole kachikil kainaik chotok chekoimuch kokoito President Ruto chebo ministaek chebo ministries cheterter ak ing'alale ministaek ko chotok chebo emet eng counties komite ministaek ak county nebo Kericho eng betuni ko kaibarasta governor nebo county noto bo Kericho Eric Mutai kainaik 10 chebo biik chotok chetetat kochut eng county executive committee noto ko CECs ako bichotok kobendi kondochin ministries ak departments cheterter eng county noto bo Kericho. Kakilewen Leonard Ngetich koek CEC nenamu legut notok nebo rabinik anan finance ak Daniel Chesire koek inendet CEC nebo kabatisiet. Mwawechi mising ministries ak CEC cheterter ako maswik chotok chebunu sirindenyo nebo logoiwek notok ko Robert Siele nekamiten eng county assembly nebo Kericho eng kasarta notok nekakiborostoi kainaik chotok 10 bo biik 10 chetetat konamu departments ak ministries cheterter eng county notok bo Kericho.
Ng'alalen sang nebo afisinyin kokibarasta Governor Dr. Eric Mutai, afisaek chetetat kondochi departments chetaman cheboto county secretary ak chief of staff en county noton cheikeni kityo kosirto county assembly nebo Kericho asikotoi boisiet. Kaibarasta Leonard Ngetich kobun komasta nebo Bureti koek CC nebo rabishek. Daniel Chesire kobun komasta nebo Kipkelian West koek CC nebo kabatishet. CC nebo beek kokaek Rosemary Rob nekoboishe inendet en Lake Basin ko afisayat nekotelelchin beek. Edna Tanui kobun komasta nebo Kipkelian East ko CC nebo tililindo. Judy Chepkorir kobun Ainamoi ko CC nebo neranik ak ICT. Wakili Brian Langat kobun komasta nebo Ainamoi ko CC nebo mbarenik. Public Works ak teksetab ortinwek ko Eric Koech kobun komasta nebo Soin Sigawet. Trade Industrialization ko Bernard P kobun komasta nebo Belgut. Ak CC nebo somanet ko tatat koek Lawrence P kobun komasta nebo Soliat. Public Service ko Brenda P kobun komasta nebo Belgut. County Secretary ko Dr. Wesley Bor kobun komasta nebo Kipkelian West ak Vincent Kigen ko tatat ko nambaraindo nebo Chief of Staff. Takingei kainutik ak bichoton 12 County Assembly nebo Kericho ole tatat ko ngalalen ak kosirta anan kowirta County Assembly. Kamwa Governor nebo Kericho Dr. Mutai kole kapcheita boroinwek choton koityi kebeberwek tugul chebo county noton en kergeindo ole kanyor boroindoton sub county age tugul en sub counties tugul asimanyor katabanet kebeberta age tugul.
We have 4 women as ministers in Kericho County today, which is a very great development in terms of what I promised in the campaign, that we'll have a good number of women in the cabinet, and today we have 4 strong women. We equally have 3 youths in the cabinet, and we also have 3 wases in the government so that they can balance the cabinet. I call for your prayers, and I pray that we accept that all of us qualifies for this position. But at the end of the day, it is only few who can manage to get these positions. I thank so much the workers of Kericho County government. We have a very strong team in terms of our workers in all sectors, and we pray that this team will work closely to do number 1. Number 2, we want to see our ECD teachers confirmed by 1st of July next year. Number 2, we want to see our workers who are in contract, that we work on a way of confirming them on permanent and pensionable terms, and the public service board will do that work as we move forward.
Kangang Governor kole miten boroinwek chebo CEOs anan Chief Officers cheiborostoi en konekit kole miten boroinwekab biik chetindoi kewelutik asikomanyor saset age tugul ak kebaorionchi pchetaetab boroinwek en county noton en kergeindo.
In the CEOs, we are going to release the list of CEOs in a very short while. And I want to say this in camera and very confident. When we'll be releasing the list of CEOs, we'll have 1 CEO from the BWD community.
En kasaratan ko kangat Governor CC choton koyai boisionik kwa kasarta nekaisirta icheket County Assembly en mwaet kole CC age tugul anan ko afisayat age tugul nemaisuldaen boisionik kwa en ortinwek chenyolu keisto icheket en boisiet.
Kupata wewe umekuwa contractor nyumbani the following day. CC kazi yake ni implement the things for the people of Kericho. Kwa hivi ukikuza pesa ya raia na kutuma kwa assembly wa kuimpeach the following day kwa nyumbani.
Kongeten county nebo Kericho loikab emet chebo Kass kainenyun ko Robert Siele.
Kagiasyechi kirwogindetab kapkirwok neo notok nebo High Court eng betutab rani Justice Eric Ogolla koek kirwogindet neo eng kapkirwok notok bo High Court notok ko Principal Judge. Kagiyai kora takasang nebo kapkirwok notok nebo Milimani nemiten eng yubo taonitab Nairobi akaindochi kirwogindet neo notok ko Chief Justice Martha Koome. Ole kamwa kirwogindet Ogolla kole wendi koboisie eng kibagenge ak Chief Justice eng kasuldaetab tetutik cheterter chetokyinigei kokanapta boisionik chebo kapkirwok nebo High Court ak kapkirwokisiek alak chotok chebo emoni. Kakilewen Justice Ogolla koib boroindo nekinomu eng tai Justice Lydia Achode nekokitoror koek kirwogindetab kapkirwok nebo Court of Appeal.
Eric Kennedy Theophilus Okumu Otieno Ogolla the Principal Judge of the High Court, having previously taken the oath of office of Judge of the High Court of Kenya, do hereby solemnly reaffirm the said oath.
I urge the High Court to lead in developing a paperless judiciary where courtrooms are hosted on the ground and litigants are accorded the flexibility of virtual proceedings.
Last year, we were down to 12, barely the minimum statutory limit. But within your short period of being in office, the number has gone up by 17. We are now 29.
And we want to promise that we are going to up our game. We have no reason now as a Court of Appeal of not reducing the backlog. We have no reason of not doing our very best to reduce the waiting time. We're going to strive to see whether we can finalize matters within the 1 year that ideally you have set for us. But it is still work in progress because we see judges at all these levels, other levels are increasing, and therefore the number of appeals that we are getting are increasing every day. But we'll do our very best.
As at the day of your assumption of office, Honorable Principal Judge, I hope this will not scare you. There are 82,852 pending cases before you, with a backlog of 52,920 cases because they have been in the court system for longer than a year. 19,701 of these cases have stayed in our system beyond 3 years. Some are 5 years, others are 6 years. I therefore implore your lordship and your team to focus on these 19,701 cases during your first year in office and come up with strategies and interventions that will ensure that these cases will be out of the court system at least by December 2023.
Ataka ko kayasyechinet nga kiyasyechi Justice Ogola eng betutab rani eng kapkirwok notok nebo Milimani nemiten yu bo Nairobi. Betutab rani ko betut notok nebo mieindo nebo muguleldo ako kiboiboenji eng komaswek cheterter chebo emet. Kotomo kebwa taonitab Nairobi amekibe taonit notok nebo Eldoret ole kakecher biikab emet korutochi ketesosiek chebo kanyoiset asikobit kechikil icheket kechikil borwekwak mising ko kenai agobo kaimutik chotok chetinyegei ak muguleldo ak kaimutik chotok cheimuch koib kaimutiet ak mionwek chotok chebo muguleldo. Akot konotok komite maget eng biikab emet koistoegei amet ak boisiet notok nebo amitwogik chemanyoljini borwekwak. Kaimuch koyai ana kaimuch kobawenji betut notok nebo muguleldo eng ing'ony sipitalit notok bo Fountain nemiten taonitab Eldoret ak miten yotok sirindenyo nebo logoiwek Isaac Koyei nemwawech mising kotinygei ak betuni ak tuguk chotok chenyoljin chito koyai asikoistoegei kaimutik chotok chebo muguleldo.
Kong'ololi eng sipitalitab Fountain nemite eng taonitab Eldoret eng kabwatetab betutab miondab muguleldo anan World Hearts Day, komwa Dr. Constantine Akwanda kole mite kamuget noto nebo koityi miondab muguleldo chi age tugul kosubkei ak nekoistoegei ng'atutik chotok chenyolu eng ribetab borwekwak.
Currently everyone is at risk, but it will be people who are at the age of about 40 commonly. If you have hypertension, that increases your risk. If you have diabetes, that increases your risk for heart disease. And the prevalence of the two in our setup, hypertension, increases as we age. All right. Overall, our prevalence is about 30%. But if you're above the age of 50, if you look at the age group above the age of 50, the prevalence is at least 50 and above in our community. For diabetes, it's about 5%.
Kamwa Dr. Akwanda kole bo kamanut koistoegei biikab emet boisietab tuguk chotok chemanyolun borwekwak anan korutochi ketesiosiek chotok chebo kanyoiset eng kasarwek tugul eng noto nebo kochikilgei.
On this specific day, we usually encourage people to know the risk factors that cause heart disease. And on top of those risk factors is high blood pressure, and followed by hypertension, and then other lifestyle issues to do with physical inactivity, obesity, and use of drugs like alcohol and tobacco, smoking cigarettes. So as such, today we are offering free services, screening for mainly hypertension and diabetes, and then advising our clients about living a healthy lifestyle.
Akot nganda kikotyem sipitalishekab emoni kochikil ak konya mionwogik chotok chetinyegei ak kaimutietab muguleldo, komwoe Dr. Akwanda ak kanyoik alak kole tomo konyor kamuget icheket noton nebo koyai engset ak wal anan koyai transplant eng icheket chetinyegei ak kaimutik cheu chotok.
It's a, let me put it, it's a big operation. It's very technical, and we don't have the expertise to do the transplant currently in the country. Hopefully soon, because we are now doing many of the heart-related operations, doing valves, doing what you call bypass surgeries for the arteries that are blocked to the heart. So that will be the next step, to do a heart transplant.
Kong'eteke taonitab Eldoret eng county nebo Uasin Gishu, logoiwekab emet chebo Kass, kainenyu ko Isaac Kogei.
Kongoi missing Isaac Kogei kong'ete taonit notok nebo Eldoret ak eng county nebo Nairobi ko kaimuch kotesentai yeboiboenchi betut notok nebo mieindo nebo muguleldo sipitalit notok nebo Medihill. Ole kamwa kanyoindet nebo sipitalit notok netinyegei missing ang ng'alek chotok chebo muguleldo Dr. Vijay Sin Namdeo Patil kole nyolu eng biikab emoni kochegel missing amitwogik chotok cheame icheket amun atepto nebo atkai tugul nekokotes missing letaetabkei anan chong'indo nebo kaimutik chotok chetinyegei ak muguleldo mekenyoru ng'alalenyi eng betut notok nekakiboiboenjin betutab mieindo nebo muguleldo.
Theme is there in this year, that use heart for your heart. That means your heart you should use for your heart, then for your humanity, for nature, for everything you should use your heart. That's this year's theme for the World Heart Day.
There is a prediction which is on the basis of evidence-based that 2030, the two diseases will lead to non-communicable diseases. Non-communicable diseases will lead the disease process in the world. One is cardiac disease, another is cancer, oncology. They will constitute 60% of all the disease prevalence and incidences in the world.
For the prevention, I usually advise for World Heart Day, ABC for all my patients. A is to avoid alcohol and tobacco. B is to become active. At least you should walk, run, or do swimming for at least 30 to 45 minutes per day for at least 5 days in a week. That's what WHO recommendation. And C is cut down fat, cut down extra sugar.
Visionary, our president, current president, Excellency William Ruto, he wants to achieve the high-end medicine to be practiced to be in 4A to each and every, to 100 citizens of Kenya with affordability, accessibility, acceptability, and availability.
Ageng report notok ganan ngalala natak tinyegei ak betut notok nebo mieindoab muguleldo ing ng'ony kebendi eng kamung'et netai eng tetutiet nebo rani eng sait kokiwege ebeketestai ak logoiwekab emet ong'ete studio nebo Kass TV Nairobi.
Catch every single moment of all 64 matches of the FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022. Live on SuperSport. Here for every fan. Only on DSTV.
Youth Smartphone Network ngetindo chepchebindo ne mibarak ak inyorchi beit ne nyumnyum. Asinyoru fiber sim card igugulen kityo getfiber.com. Inyit details cheguge ak iyokte. Ibun agents chejak sim card ako yole imi ako registanin. Furahia mtandao na Fiber Mobile. Fiber Mobile, truly Kenyan.
Imarisha burudani yako na Star Times. Jipambe na surprises za kipekee kwenye channel zetu za watoto, filamu za Hollywood, Nollywood na Bollywood. Upinzani unaposisimua magwiji, mabao kalikali kutoka ligi kuu ya Ulaya Bundesliga, telenovelas moto za kuguza moyo wako. Kama ni wanyamapori au mtindo wa kimaisha, unapata zaidi kwenye Star Times kwa bei ile ile. Jiunge sasa kwenye Aerial Classic Bouquet kwa shilingi 899. Utazame zaidi ya chaneli 75 au Dish Smart Bouquet kwa shilingi 999 tu kwa zaidi ya chaneli 105 kwa siku 30. Burudani ya hali ya juu kwa bei ya furaha.
Oye gaigai aibe simeng'ung muitenye ekany kosoyo eunekyuk ingen kabunu aune ngokiet kometo mayaik akoombe not ara akot ndainye mani kotos ireceivendono ano simet inye komite beek eunek itik ak konyek kale ikany kitikin amu angot akine ameche isevenwo betri nenyu muite kitikin koubut cherop nekimuite asikosipkwech kiprop nemakanye rop amu meunigei kale muite.
Asinyoru kale muite koek skiza tune neng'ung'et ijil star 860 star 841 hash.
Kass ko kimnatetab comedians ak tienik tugul.
Kimitei akobo inye ako kimita sikinetkei kibaibaitkei ak kinoisechigei tuguk cheterter chetesetai eng emetab Kenya ak emotinwek chebo sang. Inyorwech eng DSTV channel 266, Zuku channel 19, GoTV channel 099, Star Times channel 164, Pang eng free to air, Bamba free to air, Azam channel 336 koboto online streaming eng www.kasstv.co.ke. Kass TV
Youth Smartphone Network netindoi chepchebindo nemi barak ak inyorchi beit nenyumnyum. Asinyoru fiber sim card igugulen kityo getfiber.com. Inyit details chekuk ak iyokte. Ibun agents chechok sim card akoi ole imi ako registanin. Furahia mtandao na Fiber Mobile. Fiber Mobile, truly Kenyan.
Kimitei akobo inye ako kimita sikinetkei kibaibaitkei ak kinoisechigei tuguk cheterter chetesetai eng emetab Kenya ak emotinwek chebo sang. Inyorwech eng DSTV channel 266, Zuku channel 19, GoTV channel 099, Star Times channel 164, Pang eng free to air, Bamba free to air, Azam channel 336 koboto online streaming eng www.kasstv.co.ke. Kass TV kimnatet.
Itagat ketestai eng logoiwekab emet ole kakomong eng betutab rani kibagengeit notok ne tiengei anan ne tesentai mising koker kole kakimuch kesup mising imanda notok nebo kipkosabei nebo Angaza akomwa kole manyalu kesirto kainaik chotok chekoikoito President William Ruto eng bunge, kainaik chotok chebo ministaek eng ministries cheterter. Kamwa kibagengeit notok borchingei imanda nebo kipkosabei kole maimuch kokonyit President William Ruto ngatutiet notok nebo ketes kaitet notok nebo kwonyik chemiten eng ministaek chotok. Eng kasaratak kokakomongei bororiet notok nebo Mulembe kobun Mulembe Clergy Association akomwa icheket kole boiboinjin mising kayamisutik chekokon President William Ruto ako somenywa koker kole kaimuch kosuldechi icheket magutikwak chekimuch kokon icheket eng kasarta notok nekimi kosomei icheket kura. Kababainji icheket kakwautiet nebo kelewen Musalia Mudavadi koek inendet Chief Cabinet Secretary.
Kamwa kibagengeit neboriet imandab kipkosabei nebo Angaza Movement kole mabaibachi kainaikab biik chekolewen President William Ruto koek Cabinet Secretaries en serikalinyin. Kamwa kibagengeit notok kole maityin notok magutik chemiten katiba mising ko eng kasuldaetab ngatutietab 2/3 gender rule.
Kama shirika la kutetea haki za kibinadamu kwamba yale ambayo ama ule uteuzi ambao waliofanya juzi ya cabinet secretaries haijaambatana na yale mahitaji ambayo yanatakikana katika sheria ya nchi ya Kenya.
The president needs to recall some of the proposed appointments he's made in order for him to nominate more women such that we could actually comply with the constitutional the constitutional requirement of the two-third gender rule.
This is just impunity, just the failure to comply with the rule of law, and you think you'll get away with it.
This is Mulembe Clergy Welfare Association in our...
Eng kasaratok ko kakoboiboenji Mulembe Clergy Welfare Association President William Ruto eng kakwautiet nekoib ine koborye ng'alekab rubet nemiten emet, korekune beitab mbolea ak istoetab biik 4 million chemiten CRB.
The steps we have seen you take, such as reduction of fertilizer prices, relief of 5 million Kenyans from who had been blacklisted by CRB, and rescuing the starving communities hit by drought, among other issues, shows you clearly understand the challenges Kenyans face.
Kamwa Bishop Adson Ndenda neindochini Mulembe Clergy Welfare Association kole bo kamanut notok en biikab emoni.
Atakuwa amejenga barabara kilomita 10,000 Western. Tutangoja kuona, tutahesabu kilomita moja juu ya ingine, tuone kilomita 10,000. Jambo lingine ambalo aliahidi ni kwamba viwanda zetu zilizokufa za Mumias, za Nzoia, za Panpepa atazifufua. Alafu swala la mwisho, ijapokuwa ni mengi lakini kwa yale muhimu, mambo na ukulima. Na hiyo tumeona ameanza na fertilizer. Tunataka wakulima wetu wa miwa, wale wanalima mahindi, wakaweze kusaidika ili tuone uchumi wa magharibi pia ukiinuka.
Aripot engineer Kass International Nairobi, kaine nyugo June Chepkemoi.
Kongoi mising June Chepkemoi eng report natak atinyegei ak kibagengeit natak neborchingei mandab kipkosobei ak magutik chotok chebo amdoik kobun bororiet natak nebo Mulembe. Kibendi ngune county nebo Uasin Gishu ole kakotoi governor nebo county natak Jonathan Chelilem task force newendi kochikili ng'alek chotok chebo boisietab kerichek chemayanatin ak maiwek, kou eng report neiwei sirindenyo nebo logoiwek Gladys Yatora.
Nitok ko kosubkei ak governor nebo county nebo Uasin Gishu Jonathan B nekamwa ine kole makat kiterter ortinwek chotok imuktechin letaetabkei nebo maiwek chotok koityi kokwotinwek.
County government ya Uasin Gishu hatutakubali mambo ya ulevi ambayo inaharibu vijana wetu, wamama na wazee. Mimi nasema sitakubali. Kuna task force ambayo niliweka, tunataka watusaidie kutafuta hii shida inatokanga wapi, na tutasaidikaje, na tutaepukaje, na tutafanya njia gani ili tukue alcohol free zone. Na inawezekana. Na mnajua hata pombe ya sasa sio pombe ile ya zamani, ile ilikuwa ya wazee wetu. Hii si pombe, hii ni sumu.
Kong'ololi inendet eng igorta notok kokimong'u biikab emoni chekikakoi maiwek eng kasarta nekoi yekingoba rehabilitation eng komosta nebo Moiben. Ni agenge eng bichotok ko kipsomaniatab sukulitab barak.
Tunataka tuende kwa mashule, tuende kwa markets, tufanye outreaches, tuambie watu the danger ya kukunywa pombe sana ya haramu ambayo kuna sumu ndani yake.
Katestai kokimit ine kole wendi kotou county noto task force noto kwendi kochikili koimutiet akoboto walutietab koimutikab boisietab maiwek ak kerichekab bokitotet noto kikoek konakut ak koimutiet neo eng bandab tai nebo emet.
So tutafute vijana wetu hapa. These are our own future leaders. Na wakiharibika sasa tumeharibu mchi. Pia we want to empower communities by giving alternative source of income. Tuhakikishe kwamba kama kuna mtu ambaye ameweshwa na hii pombe, tutafute njia ya wanachief na sisi wote na county government.
Katestai komwa ine kora kole nyolu konyor biikab emoni naet akobo koimutik koboto asenet neibu boisietab maiwek ak kerichekab bokitotet eng borwekwai.
Spiritually nasikia niko sawa. Wakati nilikuwa na leo making decisions, wise decision and send decisions haikuwa sawa vile, lakini wakati nimekuwa hapa nimepata mafunzo mazuri kutoka kwa walimu wetu na the whole Modern fraternity. Nafikiri kutoka hapa na siku zijazo tutakuwa tunashauriana vizuri juu akili imerudi kwa ile normal ama sane mental state yake.
Kongete county nebo Uasin Gishu logoiwekab emet chebo Kass, kainenyu ko Gladys Yator.
Ripoti noto bo Gladys Yator netinyegei ak biik choto chekomangune rehabilitation kwagei let nebo kebeberta netai nebo logoiwechu bo emet. Kibendi nguni eng komosta noto nebo aeng kokakiwege amutin eng ngwendut notok nebo mungaret.
The two catalysts in terms of acceleration, even though zero trust was a concept known.
Did you know that 17 women die every day in Kenya during a childbirth? We lose about 39,000 newborns due to preventable conditions like malaria, neonatal sepsis, as well as diarrheal diseases. And guess what? These deaths of mothers and newborns, they are both preventable. Total Care Box is an organization that's extremely passionate about reducing maternal and newborn deaths using a simple box, a simple public health initiative that is a box, and life-saving education.
Today we are at St. John's Hospital here in Githurai. We are here in conjunction with Total Care Box.
Mimi ya leo kwanza ni kushukuru Roto Foundation wakiwa pamoja na Total Care kwa sababu ya kuangalia mama wetu.
I really feel very honored by Lotto because I never even thought anybody could think about us, the way you have done. And thank you very much.
Lucy, we just want to tell you from Lotto that you're one of our first Shuja.
Every time you play Lotto, 25% goes to the Lotto Foundation, which supports our fellow Kenyans through various causes. Thank you for your help. Together, we are changing lives.
Kimitei agobo inye ago kimita siginetkei kibaibaitgei ak inoisechigei tuguk cheterter chetesetai eng emetab Kenya ak emotinwek chebo sang. Inyorwech eng DSTV channel 266, Zuku channel 19, GoTV channel 099, Star Times channel 164, Pang eng free to air, Bamba free to air, Azam channel 336 koboto online streaming eng www.kasstv.co.ke. Kass TV
Youth Smartphone Network ngetindoi chepchebindo nemi barak ak inyorchi beit nenyumnyum. Asinyoru fiber sim card igugulen kityo getfiber.com. Inyit details chekuk ak iyokte. Ibun agents chechok sim card akoi ole imi ako registanin. Furahia mtandao na Fiber Mobile. Fiber Mobile, truly Kenyan.
Oye gaigai aibe simeng'ung muitenye ekany kosoyo eunekchuk ingen kabunwaune ngokiet kometa mayaik akoombe not ara akot inye mani kotos irisipendo ano simet inye komite beek eunek itik ak konyek kale ikany kitikin amu angot akine ameche isebenwo betri nenyu muite kitikin koubut cherop nekimuite asikosip koech kiprop nemakanye rop amu meunikei kale muite.
Asinyoru kale muite koek skiza tune neng'ung'et ijil star 860 star 841 hash.
Kass ko kimnatetab comedians ak tienik tugul.
Kimitei agobo inye ago kimita siginetkei kibaibaitgei ak inoisechigei tuguk cheterter chetesetai eng emetab Kenya ak emotinwek chebo sang. Inyorwech eng DSTV channel 266, Zuku channel 19, GoTV channel 099, Star Times channel 164, Pang eng free to air, Bamba free to air, Azam channel 336 koboto online streaming eng www.kasstv.co.ke. Kass TV
Imarisha burudani yako na Star Times. Jibambe na surprises za kipekee kwenye channel zetu za watoto, filamu za Hollywood, Nollywood na Bollywood. Upinzani unaposisimua magwiji, mabao kalikali kutoka ligi kuu ya Ulaya Bundesliga. Telenovelas moto za kuguza moyo wako. Kama ni wanyamapori au mtindo wa kimaisha, unapata zaidi kwenye Star Times kwa bei ile ile. Jiunge sasa kwenye Aerial Classic Bouquet kwa shilingi 899. Utazame zaidi ya chaneli 75 au Dish Smart Bouquet kwa shilingi 999 tu kwa zaidi ya chaneli 105 kwa siku 30. Burudani ya hali ya juu kwa bei ya furaha.
Did you know that 17 women die every day in Kenya during a childbirth? We lose about 39,000 newborns due to preventable conditions like malaria, neonatal sepsis, as well as diarrheal diseases. And guess what? These deaths of mothers and newborns, they are both preventable. Toto Care Box is an organization that's extremely passionate about reducing maternal and newborn deaths. Using a simple box, a simple public health initiative that is a box, and life-saving education.
Today we are at St. John's Hospital here in Githurai. We are here in conjunction with Total Care Box.
Mimi ya leo kwanza ni kushukuru Roto Foundation wakiwa pamoja na Total Care kwa sababu ya kuangalia mama wetu.
I really feel very honored by Lotto because I never even thought anybody could think about us, the way you have done. And thank you very much.
Lucy, we just want to tell you from Lotto that you're one of our first Shuja.
Every time you play Lotto, 25% goes to the Lotto Foundation, which supports our fellow Kenyans through various causes. Thank you for your help. Together, we are changing lives.
Ako toma kita chigeng mendutab mungaret ko kagosom biik cheyosen kobun county nebo Nandi chemiten eng kibagengeit notok naat ko agui gogo caring service serikalitab county ak notok nebo government neo anan serikalit neo kolipanji biik tugul chekikoit kenyisiek 65 rabinik chotok chebo cash transfer kama ichek kole kokobit kalotunet eng roptaet anan pcheitaet nebo rabinik chotok. Report ni wisirinde nyana nebo logoiwek kong'ete townit nebo Kapsabet eng county nebo Nandi, Cyril Chepsirora.
Kamwa nebo ng'echeret eng kibagengeitab biik cheyosen eng county nebo Nandi ne naat ko agui Gogo Caring Services William Mayo kole kotestai kalotunet eng lipanetab chepkondok chebo biik cheyosen anan cash transfer eng kasarta nekoya komwa kole nyolu kikoch chepkondok chotok biik tugul chekikoit kenyisiek 65 komamitei kalotunet age tugul.
Serikali nebo county ak nebo national kokochi chepkondok choto bo cash transfer chitugul nekakoit kenyisiek choto mokotin makele kekwei kimoche kele koityi chitugul chepkondok choto kikere koma wendi komie ngap komaityin ngap kechunda komami kainaik chebo biik cheyosen alak komite chebo alak ko kimoche keisto ng'oliondonoto nemami kainetab biik alak ko kakisome mising kwai boisionoto social services ak biik chetinye ng'oliondonoto.
Eng komostanyi komwa Trufena Korir kole nyolu ketoret biik cheyosen ketekyi ketesietab kanyoiset eng county nebo Nandi asikotoret chechang eng ichek chemaimuchigei ak kobune uinwek cheterter konyor kanyoiset nenyolu.
Ara kosom biikab Nandi ale sikobit kikilgei nyekeng'et en kerwai asiketoretkei keyum chepkondok chekiyoe boisietab agui gogo. Kemoche ketekyi sipitali nekararan nekimuchi kinyae for free, kimuchi akot betusiek alak keal ambulance ngomyan kinyekecheng'ote eng ole mitei ak kakosop kiwekte kwo gaa for free. Kisome kora kandoik chebo county kikotoretech kenyisiek chechang amu kitinye kenyisiek 10 kikitokchinigei 15. Kisome toretet otoretech yekitweku kele otoretech ki nekakimokchinigei amu makitinye toretet age tugul otoretech. Kou county governor nenyonet, deputy governor kokemushi ak kiken eung'wong, kokemushi biik chechang ak kiken eung'wong otoretech sikobit kemuch keyai boisioni.
Eng kasarata komwa Barnes Kirorei kole Jumamos agenge ko betut nekibwoti biik cheyosen eng ing'ony komugul ole kamwa kole wendi konyoru kanyoiset nemakiliponi biik cheyosen eng kebeberta nebo Kipture.
Somo kanyo netai omutu cheyosen tugul asikobit kobwa undaun asikobit nekeselebreten tugul eng yun nebo Kipture. Eng yundok komitei kanyoiset nebo buch ketieme kechikil borwekab cheyosen amutu chosen kitindoi kora boisiet nebo rwaet, kitindoi labatet, kemoche kiyum chepkondok chekiumi sikeale plotit nebo Wikoko Caring Service.
Kong'et kaunti ab Kapsabet eng kaunti nebo Nandi, logoiwekab emet chebo Kass kekurenon Cyril Chepsiror.
Atachin eng logoiwek chotok chebo mung'aret ole eng oret notok nebo keisto chorset notok nebo rabinik eng kampunisiek chotok che namu rabinik ko kakomuch Convergence Network Solutions eng kibagenge koboto SailPoint kotou tetutiet notok ne naat mising ko Zero Trust eng oret notok nebo keker kele kakimuch kechuchuch anan keisto biik chotok cheimuch koboisie teknolojia nebo kasari eng oret notok nebo koker kole kaimuch kochutyi ako choren biik rabinik eng accounts chekwak. Kong'ololi eng kasarta notok nekalumda tetutiet notok kokamwa ofisayat eng kampunit notok nebo Convergence Network Solutions Abdullahi Sheikh kole toreti notok mising eng ripset nebo kampunisiek chotok chemengechen ak cheechen keboisie IT ecosystems.
The two catalysts in terms of acceleration, even though Zero Trust was a concept known, it was catalyzed or accelerated by the two factors. The pandemic that changed how work is done, and the Ukraine war that's changed where the nature of threats, and it's moving to state actors from your typical criminal actors. So the benefit here is, since Zero Trust is the best approach to dealing with cyber threat and it's been confirmed, you need to move to identity security. You need to make security identity your core of your security.
But just think about it. The principle of Zero Trust to me really means at every single point in time, what if this layer of security has failed? Then what is my next line of defense? If you start thinking that way, then you start, layering in the security, and you start really understanding also the impact of a breach. What data could be compromised then? How far can they get?
One of the things we do is to do a lot of things for our clients, including the research. We like to look at things, beyond what this market offers. We like to research. We like to see what the world over is doing, and in the process, identify solutions that are different, rather than look at traditional way of looking at things.
Itagateng logoiwek chotok chebo ureriosiek ole kitaunen Benjamin Mkapa Stadium nemiten eng emetab Tanzania, taunit ko noto nebo Dar es Salaam ole kataune anan kasir kabelisosiek timisiekab Kenya noto ko defending champions chebo ureriet notok nebo basketball eng zone 5, timitab KPA ak timit notok nebo Equity Hawks kosubkei ak points chekoimuch koib icheket eng betutab amut eng ureriet notok netesetai eng taunit notok bo Dar es Salaam. Kaimuch timit notok nebo Equity Hawks koisto biret nekotach eng urerienyin netai eng betut notok nebo Jumatatu ak eng betutab amut koimuch koterter timitab Nile Legends eng point 78 eng 37. Timit notok bo Nile Legends kobunu emet nebo Sudan ako kosubkei kabelisiet notok kokatil ticket nebo quarter finals timit notok bo Equity Hawks. Eng tai kokobir timitab Alexandria Sports Club nebo Misri timit notok nebo Equity Hawks ak eng betutab amut koimuch konde notok taban kotomo kosir kabelisiet. Urereni timit notok anan katetat koureren eng betutab rani timit notok ak timitab Vijana Queens eng kebeberta notok nebo semi-finals. Timit age nebo Kenya nemi eng kabelisio notok ko timitab KPA che defending champions chebo kabelisio notok ak achut icheket eng kebeberta nebo quarter finals kosubkei ak nekabir timitab REG kobun emetab Rwanda eng points 67 eng points 48. Ako nataka komi timit notok eng kebeberta notok nebo quarter finals eng timitab Kenya kokoimuch konyor points chechang kobun Victoria Reynolds Caroline nekoimuch kokwo inendet pointisiek 22 eng urerionotok. Tesetai kabelisionotok eng emetab Tanzania ole kabelindet kochengei boroindo notok nebo koba eng kabelisiet nebo Africa. Urerionotok ko nebo zone 5. Kemong'u eng basketball kibinding katyaretab mpiretab keldo ole kochut eng kebebertab groups timitab Arsenal nebo kwonyik anan nebo tibiik kosubkei kabelisietab golit 1-0 nekaiterter timitab Ajax eng kemboutab amut. Konyor timitab Arsenal golinotok agenge nebo kabelisiet kobun Vivian Miedema nekoikochi timitab Arsenal kabelisiet nebo golisiek 3-2 eng aggregate eng Meadow Park. Kimuch koser anan eng taonitab Amsterdam. Eng Meadow Park kokimuch timisiek chu koser draw nebo golisiek 2-2 eng wikit nekosirtoi ak eng kemboutab amut kokoching age tugul eng timisiek chu golit asikomuch kochut eng kebeberta notok nebo quarter final nebo groups. Timisiek alak chekoimuch koser kabelisiet eng kemboutab amut ko timit notok nebo Benfica nekabir timitab Rangers. Koterter timit notok nebo Paris Saint-Germain, timitab Haken Women kobir timit notok nebo Real Madrid, timitab Rosenborg eng golisiek 2-1 akaiterter timitab Juventus, timit notok nebo Koge Women. Ak logoiwechotok bo ureriosiek cheitech let nebo tetutiet notok nebo rani eng sait eng betuni bo tarik 29 arawet notok nebo 9 betut notok nekaitita tai nebo bunge President William Ruto akokon ng'alalenyi eng sitting anan atebet notok netai nebo parliament notok nebo 13 nekatoi eng betutab rani. Atebwekchik eng kot notok nebo bunge nemiten eng taonitab Nairobi ole kaimuch kokon ng'alalet chotok cheterter President William Ruto cheboto rabinik chotok chemamiten eng inguni ak ortinwek cheboisie inendet koker kole eng kenyisiek 3 chemiten tai ko makotiegei emoni rabinik chotok chebo besenwogik kobate imuch konem tetutik chetoreti eng nyorunet notok nebo rabinik neipchini komakitiegei mising besenwogik. Amagun kembaut nemie, kainenyu ko Josephat Kebut ak eng komosta notok nebo kabarunoik kokimiten koboto Naomi Cherotich.
Chut Smartphone Network netindoi chepchebindo nemi barak ak inyorchi beit nenyumnyum. Asinyoru fiber sim card igugulen kityo getfiber.com. Inyit details chekuk ak iyokte. Ibun agents chejok sim card akoi ole imi ako registanin. Furahia mtandao na Fiber Mobile. Fiber Mobile, truly Kenyan.
Oye kaikai aibe simeng'ung muitenye ekany kosoyo eunekchuk ingen kabunwaun ngokiet kometo mayaik akoombenot ara akot ndainye mani kotos irisibendo ano simet inye komite beek eunek itik ak konyek kale ikany kitikin amu angot akine ameche isebenwa betiri nenyu muite kitikin kobut cherop nekimuite asikosikwech kiprop nemakanye rop amu meunikei kale muite.
Asinyoru kale muite koek skiza tune neng'ung'et ijil *860 *841 hash.
Kass ko kimnatetab comedians ak tienik tugul.
Kimitei akobo inye ako kimita sikinetkei kibaibaitkei ak kinoisechigei tuguk cheterter chetesetai eng emetab Kenya ak emotinwek chebo sang. Inyorwech eng DSTV channel 266, Zuku channel 19, GoTV channel 099, Star Times channel 164, Pang eng free to air, Bamba free to air, Azam channel 336 koboto online streaming eng www.kasstv.co.ke. Kass TV.
Did you know that 17 women die every day in Kenya during a childbirth? we lose about 39,000 newborns due to preventable conditions like malaria, neonatal sepsis, as well as diarrheal disease.